Hi, welcome. We have Juliette here from Birdy. That's the name of the company,
Yes, it is.
right?
Hi.
And you're developing a app at the moment for a dating app for, I guess, Myers-Briggs in some way.
Exactly. So people are matched based on their MBTI type compatibility. And in addition of that, there's another layer of fun, which is that we don't have any pictures at the first matching. So the whole concept of Birdie is really to be focused on personality. So we use the MBTI and we use a sort of a very creative profile where you can answer a lot of deep questions, where you can express yourself much more than in other dating apps, so that when people choose you, it's not because of how you look, it's because of what you have in mind. Like they have to feel how you are as a person, and then they discover the pictures.
Okay.
So
So let's get into the typology section of it. Do you do your own tests? You've developed your own tests for people?
yes,
Yeah.
so I've became certified, MBTI certified in November of last year.
Okay.
Uh, but even before, I was really interested in that, so I already bought a lot of books and things like that. And also, the test we have designed is more based on a one-to-one typing that on really like the theory of the MBTI. So it's more like me who have typed a lot of people around me and who have seen how they react to the questions and what they understand, what they don't. So
Right.
I've created a test that I think is maybe easier to understand, to answer the questions. And also I've created a chatbot, which is the conversation that I have with people. So I've just like transcribed it into a chatbot. So it's really like, oh, I don't understand what you mean by uh, theoretical, and then I explain what means theoretical. So
Right. I
it's
see.
really to get a better typing, because I think that there are so many errors on 16personalities.com, and
Yes.
even when people get typed by professionals, there are so many errors.
Yeah.
um, I found it, I thought it was really important to have the right type for the person before to match them with maybe the love of their life.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So what happens? How much are you basing the fact that your test is going to get their type right? Are they still able to navigate around and meet people outside of what their suggested type match is and stuff like that?
so um, so as I said, the most important part of Birdie is really to get the right type. So they have, when they will connect on the app, right now it's just the website and you can take the chatbot and the regular test. But when they will connect on the app itself, it's gonna be like the chatbot, and we will have some AI kind of integrated to tell us when there has been a sort of a hesitation
Mm,
or a difference. When they arrive on the app, they already know their type, and then they get another one back with our test. So
right.
this we will be notified. Also, they will be able to text directly with us. So we will have people directly interacting with the users to be sure of, if we have a dot on one letter, we want to check that directly. And we will have also phone calls, like 10 minutes phone calls where we can just check, which are going to be free, because
Wow.
yeah, because
Yeah.
this is going to be the really important requirements. If
Yeah.
they
It's a
don't have the good
foundation.
type,
Yeah.
all the experiences failed, and this has no interest.
Right. Yeah.
So this is really the main focus. The having the good type is our priority.
And so then what is considered a good match? A dual or a semi-dual or what?
What do you mean by dual?
Like the opposite function or semi?
No.
No.
So well, it depends. So Birdie is based on mainly the two middle letters.
Right.
So if we speak like for the second letter is how you see life, right? And the third letter is how you communicate, basically.
Okay.
So the thing is that also through my experience, I've seen that when a T and F communicate, they are not expecting the same kind of communication from each other. One is going to expect a communication that is very personal, that is very subjective, that is very caring, that, like everything that an F expects. And a T will expect exactly the opposite. So how can you, except if you are extremely willing to make an effort on yourself, it's going to be difficult for a whole life to communicate with such different bases. So the T and the F are the most important letters in Birdy. And then we have the N and the S, because it's when you're an N, you don't want to talk about the trivial, about like everyday life, about details, about the things that are, you want to talk about ideas and big discussions, and you're not interested in the same type of conversations and in the same type of living, usually. And this is what happened also with me. I've dated 9FJ. I'm ESFJ, by the way.
Okay.
And I've been dating 9FJ. Before that, I was only with S people. So I couldn't actually feel what was the difference, what was that big difference between S and N. And when I've dated an INFJ, I actually realized what was the difference. So it's so amazing what we have lived. He taught me so much, and I think I've taught him also a lot, like to be more in the present and to be, more living his life. But at some point I was very tired, because every moment we had together, it was like an effort for me to adapt to what he wanted to talk, and it was really interesting. But my brain gets tired of speaking about things like that. So like a huge like I'm putting myself in a difficulty, and when he tried to live like me, to live in my world, to be like in the experience, and to do not think about the future, it was very tiring for him, and a lot of anxiety actually made him feel like more anxious. And so this is those two letters, FT and NS are the ones we focus on the most. We don't say that it's impossible to have a relationship when they are opposed, but it's just gonna be a more effort.
More effort. Okay.
Yeah, like my parents are completely incompatible. My mom is SF, my dad is NT.
Right.
Wow, like just they are still together and still in love, but they both had to make a lot of concessions on themselves, which is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
But we chose to position ourselves in like thinking that life is nowadays even more complicated, and if you are from the beginning with someone that has the same communication style and live a little bit like you, same style of thinking, it's easier to start this complicated life and long life,
Right. Yeah. So is there also a social component that's going to be around in your app, to make friends, to make groups, like some sort of social media thing as well, or?
So that was the idea. And initially, it was more like, come on Birdy and get what you will find, like you can arrive, especially because there are no pictures.
Right.
Because you arrive and then you really like the personality of the person, and then the physique look, you don't like it. but you really still want to have a coffee with this person because he was so interesting, you know.
Right.
So then he becomes a friend or a work partner or something. But in our communication, we need to stay, I mean, we want to focus on the romantic relationships, because this was the initial idea. This is why I've created it. And of course, through Birdy and through the MBTI, I find a lot of friends and I found a lot of work partners, you know.
Yeah, right.
But the initial goal was for me to find my ISFPs, my perfect match.
Okay.
That, you know, so I think people can really be surprised, you know, on Birdy. Yeah.
Okay,
So they
interesting.
can come and, yeah.
And so if people want to get to know more, there's a website. I could put the link in the description for the app.
Yes, there's
Yeah.
a website.
And do you have a release date scheduled at all for when the app will start?
So right now it will just depend of if it's good with this CTO. And if it's good, then he will start to code. We will launch a first version that will be very simple, not with all the things that we want to put in, because we just want it to get released, to get out,
right?
So that people can download it. And then every week we will add some features that we have planned. So the first version, very simple, it's possible that it's gonna be out late November.
Okay.
And but to be notified, people have to register on the waiting list, so they will receive you know, updates, emails, and everything.
Okay, cool. And so then, do you have anything else that you wanted to say about the app and the direction you want to take it eventually in the future, or this is I guess we basically covered it.
I mean, in the future, I just have one thing to say, is that dating apps like Tinder arrived just 7 years ago, which is not that long ago. And I feel that everybody jumped on it. I mean, not everybody, of course, not everybody, but we have just the impression that Tinder, the way to date right now on apps, is like the Tinder way, with the picture, and like we are kind of selling ourselves like a product. And there are other ways to proceed, and there are a lot of people who feel that they don't want to sell themselves like product, and they have a very deep interior, you know, and things to say,
right?
And that it's not reflective. It doesn't match like Tinder. The Tinder way doesn't match their way to
right.
be themselves.
Yeah, people
So
of substance, people that want to look for substance in each other.
Right?
Yeah, not just
exactly.
Superficial things. Yeah,
right. And I hope that Birdy is gonna be the starting point of other dating apps that are gonna, you know, find other ways to connect, that are not only pictures and not like, you know, buy me, I'm, you know, and and I really hope that this is gonna change the status quo, and that this is gonna be the starting point of something like more of a movement of the people who say like, yeah, we are here too, and we have another way, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Very
That's
cool.
why
Very
I'm
awesome.
doing that also.
Yeah. Well, I'm fully behind that sort of thing as well. Yeah, it's really cool. It's cool that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming out, and best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you for interviewing me.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.